Sociocultural anthropology is the study of humanity in all of its cultural variation. We have sociocultural anthropologists who study American society, sociocultural anthropologists who study far-off places and everywhere in between, including comparisons between social groups and social contexts. The thing about anthropology and the methods and the skills that we train our students is that they have a very broad array of applications. It's most important to think about what sorts of problem-solving skills and critical analysis skills am I developing as an anthropologist, and those are widely valued. For our students who apply to law school are very competitive because of the research training that they have and the critical analysis skills that they have. Our students who apply to PhD programs across the social sciences end up being incredibly competitive candidates because they have more research and analysis experience than almost any undergraduates applying to those programs. And so, you know, the field is wide open in terms of what you could do with anthropology. I make the argument to my students that if you're going to be a doctor and you understand cultural variation and the cultural dimensions of health experience, you're going to be a much more effective doctor. If you're going to run a business or run a marketing firm and you understand how culture factors into how people experience reality and how these products potentially fit into their reality, you're going to be a much more effective marketer or product developer, and so on and so forth, right? This applies across, there is no field where anthropology does not provide some fundamental insights that can really revolutionize the way that you carry out that profession and how you can be more effective and sort of on the cutting edge of, you know, what insights are implemented within those fields. So one of the distinctive things about our program is that we offer some of the most advanced research training of any anthropology program really anywhere in the world. And we don't just say that ourselves, our colleagues around the world that see what we do with our undergraduates recognize that. And that's basically found in the field school process that we require as part of our major. All of our undergraduates will spend about 2 to 3 months, usually in an international context, but we also have a local Provo Field School option. But all of our students will spend 2 to 3 months doing intensive field work. They'll spend an entire semester preparing for that field work, and then at least, you know, usually 2 semesters after the field, analyzing the data and writing it up. And we strongly encourage our students to present their findings at international conferences, and we commonly have colleagues from around the world mistaking them for graduate students because of the high level of research that they're producing. And again, that field work that we require students to do is the most substantive part of our major. That's what really makes them employable, makes them, you know, top candidates for graduate programs and so on. That's where we really teach the fundamental problem-solving skills that anthropology really offers as a field, and particularly sociocultural anthropology. All of our field schools focus on ethnography as a method. I describe anthropology and sociocultural anthropology as one of the most interdisciplinary disciplines. You have economic anthropologists who cross the range of economics and anthropology. You have social anthropologists who cross the range of sociology and anthropology. I'm a psychological anthropologist, and I cross, you know, the domains of psychological function and cultural function and so on. The point being is that as the study of humanity, anthropology really represents everything related to human being. If there's an aspect of human experience, there's an anthropologist who studies that. And the thing that's different when you compare sociology, linguistics, economics, political science, or psychology is I would say that those disciplines have maybe a narrower focus on their topic, whereas anthropology takes those topics and studies them in their broader social and cultural context. So as a psychological anthropologist, for example, I look at psychological function, but I treat it within its broader social and cultural context. And we dive deep into mental health issues, social psychological issues. I particularly work on morality and personhood, concepts of self and so on. But we consider the fundamental differences that might exist between a particular psychological process or function within one social context and another. So in that sense, anthropology is much broader than most of the other social sciences because it looks at these phenomena. We dig down to the basic assumptions that might vary fundamentally, even in the way that people imagine the very fabric of reality. Like, culture is so much more deep than aesthetic preferences for food or cuisine or even beliefs. You know, a lot of people define culture as your belief system. It's much more even fundamental than that. It has to do with the way that you imagine reality in the first instance. And as anthropologists, we train ourselves to, whether we're interested in psychology or language or economics or politics, we train ourselves to get at the most fundamental set of assumptions at play, and we compare those across different contexts to understand how these phenomena that the other social sciences deal with, but how they're sort of their fundamental cultural variation, and how we can understand them at their root, rather than taking a lot of our Western assumptions to the study of, again, psychology, society, economics, or politics. Again, I think we're the broadest discipline that provides you some of the best research training that you can get. The methods that we teach to our students are applicable to pretty much anything. That scares students sometimes, because they're like, well, I don't know exactly what I'm going to do with this. Well, it doesn't matter what you are going to major in, chances are you don't know where you're going with this. And anthropology prepares you in a globalizing world that we live in. Anthropology provides the best set of tools to really understand global processes, to understand cultural difference. We are all going to be confronted with communities that see the world in fundamentally different ways. And anthropology provides you with a professional set of skills to analyze that, to understand it, and to bring that understanding to other people, whatever you end up doing professionally.